All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity, with the hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son, the one the world ignorantly called Jesus, which a false narrative have been pushed out there that the Lord had died for the sins of all the inhabitants of the earth, in which right throughout the scriptures the prophets declare Israel as the Lord's chosen and whom the Lord shall deliver. You know, I want to make known that the RFID microchip is the MOTB, but they want to believe it, yes or no. We're in some serious times, as you can see, you know, and a lot of news being coming out concerning the tariff war with China and US and various other countries, because it's not just China and US, you know, but the so-called Jamaicans, they don't have a clue how this is going to impact their day-to-day life, because they heavily dependent on imported goods, and best believe who feel the burden of all these conflict is the consumers. No matter where you are in the world, you're going to feel the ripple effect of what's going on, you know. And you're going to feel that financial strain, that financial burden. So I want to jump straight into scripts, and I'm going to run a clip so you have a better understanding of what I'm really speaking on. So this is Ezekiel 3 verse 17. It's a son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. So right then and there, we're not out there to speak our own feelings, you know. Even recently, brothers was out there speaking according to the script's meaning, letting the scriptures come out, and the person that was in front of the brothers, them one the brothers speak their own, you know, thoughts. But that's not what we get sent out here to do. We're supposed to speak with the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the true descendants of Jacob. You know? With the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. Let me read it once more. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. So one of the warning is this. Let's get 2nd Ezra 15 verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And how was this fulfilled upon the earth? In these last days, by Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, raising up pastors according to his heart, to feed us with knowledge and understanding. And as it is written, eat this roll and go and speak unto the house of Israel. Because now we're in the place of our captivity, we're remembering ourselves and telling the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans of things that shall shortly come to pass, whether they believe yes or no. It's gonna transpire before their eyes. Just say it, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that spake against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Because I definitely believe that famine is going to be one of the main catalysts to civil unrest, yo. Because once people cannot find food to eat, yo, that is when lawlessness is going to take over, yo. People stop listening to the authority figures, as is written in 2 Ezra 15 verse 15 on down. So I want to play this clip.
Okay, so I'm switching gears from my normal content, okay? I have some news that you guys absolutely need to hear. I've got the exact dates when U.S. supermarkets are going to face massive shortages, okay? That's right, okay? Experts are predicting empty shelves, okay? This is not just a statistic, okay? It's going to impact you directly, okay? I'm going to go over which items are set to vanish, and here's the twist. So there is good news on the horizon, okay? The question is it going to arrive in time? Stay tuned for crucial updates that is going to affect you. Okay, so let's dive right into this, okay? I'm looking at news articles from experts. They say that as stores try to cope with President Trump's trade tariffs, retail experts have shared when consumers will start to notice the effect and empty shelves. Okay, so real quick, before we dive in, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, okay? Write down in the comments right now, do you think this will impact prices, availability, or ongoing inflation? Do you think the empty shelves will be like we've never seen before, even during COVID? Okay, there are many small businesses uncertain about their future because of the current tariff situation. Okay, like I said before, I have some useful information to share at the end of this video, but first, let's see what the news is saying. Here's what they reported. Okay, so let me first state, in case anyone out there actually cares, okay, I fully support what Trump is doing and think severing our reliance and ties to China is necessary for our long-term survival as a nation, okay? The warning reads, and I quote, "Chaos from President Donald Trump's trade tariffs is likely to start impacting shelves, and experts have warned Americans, many of whom are currently stockpiling goods." Okay, this is me talking now, and if you are stockpiling, good for you. Okay, this could be coming sooner than you think. Okay, so the way I think about it is stay prepared and alert. That's my...
And if you take note of the individuals that are stacking up goods, it's not Jake. You know, Jake is not prepared for what's to come. Jake is still in the house of mirth, yo. While the children of this world, you know, they see what's coming concerning the collapse of the economy, yo. The inflation, we have hit the market concerning the price of goods. They are preparing. But what all people are doing right now, yo, acting a fool. But we have one of these things through the Spirit, yo. Because Yahweh Shem Yoshai are foretold by the prophets of various events that He is going to bring upon the earth. Let's get us precept just to bring that to light. So this is Ezekiel 5 verse 16, and it reads, "When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, so the Lord bring these judgment upon the earth." Yeah. No matter how it might come about, you know, Him use man to do His will. So let's continue. which shall be for their destruction. So this is what the Lord said I'm going to bring. When we read 2 Ezra 15, verse 5, the square, it tells the Lord I'm going to bring what? Famine, death, and destruction. Various plagues. And you hear what the famine is for? Let's read it once more. Which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. So this is what Yahweh Shemiyosha is doing now, yo. He's using Donald J. Trump to fast track this famine. You cannot say you have not been warned, yo. Because warning continually goes out. So going back to this clip.
Okay, so the way I think about it is stay prepared and alert. That's my advice, okay? It's always important and a good idea to have supplies ready in case of an emergency, okay? Think about it, though, regardless of tariffs, okay? We might still notice empty shelves. If they want us to see them, we will, just so they can blame Trump for it. That's the way I'm looking at this, okay? But on the other hand, okay, experts often give us warnings about what will happen in the future, so let's pay attention to those predictions. Okay, so it says, and I quote, America's shop floors could soon look a lot emptier with heftier price tags despite Trump struggling off the looming recession on goods for shoppers as supply chain disruptions triggered by the ongoing trade war begin to hit home. Okay, so take a second, put down in the comments what area you're in and if you're noticing any difference on the store shelves yet. It may help some people out. Okay, so now this is a quote from Molson Hart, going back to the same article. CEO of Consumer Products Company has warned that the economic impact of the U.S. government's escalating tariffs battle will start showing up in stores from May 10th, with product shortages and price hikes becoming increasingly noticeable in the weeks to follow. Okay, and also they throw in this pertinent information, which is a tag to another story. Okay, but in case you're interested, but TSA announces 5 states that will not require real ID after May 7th deadline. And if you guys are curious about that, just know that if you have a passport or an enhanced driver's license, it sounds like you won't need the upgraded real ID. Okay, so now as far as this date that they're throwing out there, in a detailed breakdown posted on X, okay, Hart said that the suspension of Chinese trade around April 10th, largely due to the new tariffs pushed by Donald Trump's administration, is about to create a serious ripple effect across America's retail and logistics sector. Okay, and the way he put it, it's like a speeding car heading toward a brick wall, and you don't even see it yet. So the U.S. is currently imposing an average 145% tariff on Chinese goods, with some categories taxed as high as 245% per White House fact sheet. Okay, which that alone should have an effect on a lot of things while the tariffs are officially levied on importers. The added cost is typically passed on to the U.S. consumers in the form of higher prices. Okay, so, and that's just the way it goes, okay? If these guys have to pay higher prices, you can bet they're not going to eat that cost, okay? They're going to pass it on to us, and we're going to see higher price tags, okay? It may get pretty interesting here real soon. According to Hart, he says it takes 30 to 55 days for shipments from China to reach American ports, depending on the destination. Okay, and he says with trade effectively halted on April 10th, that means key cities will start feeling it in mid-May, beginning in Los Angeles, then moving to Houston and Chicago.
I think now people know this. As I say, especially Drake. Them in a la land, yo. Them don't know what's about to take place, yo.
Then finally to New York, okay? And I know what you guys are wondering, what's that going to look like as soon as, containers stop arriving, okay? What's going to happen is trucking jobs are going to dry up, warehouses will begin layoffs, okay? And we'll start seeing some of the products go out of stock, okay? Reducing demand.
Stop. right there. So let's jump back straight into the scriptures as it right where he is. There we are going. This is Ecclesiastes 12 verse. I'm going to start at 1 just for edification purpose. So this is Ecclesiastes 1 verse Ecclesiastes 12 verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And people now come to the realization yet. So the evil days is approaching very fast. If you're not aware that judgment is being poured out right around the world now, we're in the evil times, and it's about to get even more evil. And who is bringing this evil? As it is written in Amos 3 verse 6, so shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people be not afraid. Shall there be evil done in a city, and I the Lord have not done it? So Yahweh Hashem Shai is the one who's bringing this evil, yo. So it says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. And who is the keepers of the house? Represent the economists here, them who look on the state of the country, you know. I watch import, export, I watch the valuation on the money, whether the money inflate, you know, or so on and so forth. And the strong men shall bow themselves. And one of the reasons why the strong men are going to bow themselves is due to the various conflicts around the world, yo. You know, because as much as all them have beat up them chest and go on, the whole of them know so them have weapons of great devastation. Let me say it that way, yo. And the grinders cease, because there are few talking about the lack of jobs. And those that look out of the windows be darkened, meaning no hope in sight here, no light at the end of the tunnel. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Because you just hear a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. But that's not going to be the only thing they have to worry about. This is one of the things that they have to go worry about too. Back in 2nd Ezra once more. 2nd Ezra 6 verse 22. And it said, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. This is what will transpire when you have a halt on trade. You know, people start even reduce the amount of things where them are export, or people are reduce the amount of things where them are import. And this is going to have a major effect on a global scale. Let's continue. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall be suddenly afraid. And these are the times that we're in, you know. Because especially when the trumpet start blowing the phone and they are what they do. Because we already have blown the trumpet about the famine, you know. But when it start be published that there isn't enough resources for the people, what do you think people are going to do? Rob, loot, steal? Let's go into it. Verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. And that's why in 2nd Ezra 15 verse 14 it states, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So let's go back to this clip.
Some of the products go out of stock. okay, reducing demand for shipping and handling, right? So Hart explained, and it goes both ways. He said, even if tariffs were to suddenly be dropped, right, and the trade resumed, Hart said it would take at least another 30 days for the economic activity to resume and much longer for normal supply to be restored. So regardless of what happens, we're going to see possibly a month where things may be hard to get. Okay, that's the bottom line. Many items may not even be on the shelves. I'm talking empty shelves. Now, another date you guys need to know, the consequences are already starting to be felt with new import charges going into effect on April 25th, which is already passed. Okay, and that means those crazy outfits like Shein and Temu have doubled prices on some products as a result. Okay, now I don't know if you guys have very much luck with those two places. Okay, I've heard Shein's better than Temu, but I tell you, the feedback on both of them, okay, it's a mixed bag, okay, and I personally do not shop there.
So, as you can see, the evil days are upon us here. Now is that time to draw close to Yahweh Shemi Shai even more, separating yourself from this world and the lust thereof, So that I want to say Kalagal, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Yahweh Kodash, Shalom.